Let me ask you about addressable TV and FreeWheel. That's something that's kind of hasn't been associated that much historically. So tell us what addressable means, what you guys are doing, the scope of the platform.
Sure. So I think in the root of addressable TV, you have the theory that you can target a specific household with a creative, either by buying the full avail, meaning you're going to serve a different message to everyone in that footprint. Whether you're an auto or a CPG company, you can serve different brands, different households based on data, or a split avail where you can buy households that are just the consumers that you're looking for. And I think the latter part creates an interesting opportunity because there's all that excess inventory in that same programming that isn't targeted to a specific household. So there's opportunities for addressable to go a little bit further with programmatic advertising or advanced audience buying. We see the next sort of higher level of that in terms of a real opportunity, which is leveraging data to find audiences at a high indices. So programs, networks, and daypart mixes that have the highest concentration of consumers that meet an advertiser's needs or demands. And we're serving advertising to those households, but also others because we're running an advertisement across all of a footprint at one time.
Tell us about inventory and the 2 minutes per hour, what that inventory is. I suppose it's quite local, or is it national? And what about how you deal with the buy side? And also as a follow-up, what's the prospect for broader addressable beyond the 2 minutes?
So the local 2 minutes, as you described, is that inventory that's made available when the cable networks do a deal with a distributor, that they have that inventory for local advertising. We aggregate that local inventory up across all of the suppliers that we work with to create that national footprint. And we do so by applying data, finding the right audiences like we talked about, and then running those commercials in those network and daypart intersections to satisfy the advertiser's demands, whatever it is, whether it's a particular audience or time of day that they want to run. But generally speaking, we're looking to not compete with obviously the local advertising. So we don't sell local avails or regional avails, even though our technology affords us the opportunity. That's where the cable sales efforts, the local cable sales efforts land. So from that perspective, I think the swim lanes are clear. There's great opportunity for different buyers to work with all of us, depending on what their needs are, from a full national footprint, a regional, and a local basis.
How do you see the buy side, the kinds of marketers who are, going for this addressable solution?
So I think there's a few different segments of the national advertising pool. There's sort of that top 150 to maybe 200 advertisers that spend a lot of money in TV, and there's a need for them to have a direct relationship with a lot of the programmers to get a baseline campaign together for their marketing needs for the year or for a quarter, depending on the seasonality of their offering. But I think that next iteration of how do they either augment a particular audience that they're looking for, reaching them with higher frequency, or launching a new product where they don't necessarily need a full schedule on one particular network. They can leverage a platform like ours that can apply the data and buy across every single cable network that's available in our footprint at the network and daypart intersection level. And the value of that is aggregating inventory in an automated fashion affords us the opportunity to report in near real time. So the next day, we know where our commercials ran for our specific advertisers, at what network and daypart intersection, at the DMA level. So when you think about how an advertiser tries to measure performance against linear TV, it's always been this sort of myth, you can't do it. And I think we're at the place where you actually can leverage this information to tie it back to any performance metrics that you have as a marketer to see, is this working, is it not working? And then because of our automation, we're able to optimize the campaigns to help drive those KPIs differently than the traditional means where you order a campaign, it runs, you get the reporting at the end of the campaign, and you kind of see how you did, and you can either replan for next year or pivot or change your media mix depending on what data comes back. So much more real time, not real time bidded inventory like in the digital landscape, but as close to that as you can get in linear TV with all the flexibility that automation brings, especially by applying data.
When we get together next year, what are your hopes for the state of addressable TV? Where might it go? Where do you hope it goes?
Well, I truly hope that the opportunity for advertisers to message to specific homes is certainly easier than it is today. As you know, there's not a fully distributed addressable solution out there. There's the DirecTVs, obviously a portion of Comcast, FiOS, and as well as Altice have some of that effort going on now. I think more will play. I hope there's an opportunity for the MVPDs and partners that we work with on the advanced TV side to look at us as a solution for them for our national addressable footprint, so that you can actually find those households at national scale for advertisers, creating a little bit more effectiveness for their advertising. But I'm also hopeful that advertisers see the value in a full avail versus just cherry picking the homes, and instead sending different messages to different homes, hoping to change consumers' perceptions or get them interested in their products and services and make the most use of that inventory.